first question is, okay, how am I going to make a living in Athens, Georgia? So I really think that, Athens, we had this opportunity to kind of be known as the entrepreneur's town for the state of Georgia. So a lot of that, I think, is really built around engagement. Ever since I've been here, we're trying to find the best employees and we're trying to find the best resources. That's all coming through community. Obviously, I've been real involved in the chamber. But one of the ways I like to slice it is, chamber, this is all kind of professional development. There's a lot of people that just want to philanthropically give or just give of their time, and from a mentor standpoint, I would call that more community development. So I'm always kind of looking for how can we kind of reach out and find those community development resources and get them pulled into this network that we already have and strengthen what we're trying to do, because that's really where entrepreneurs need the most value, is from those people that can give them the little lend of hand, of time, of money, of resource, of connection, to kind of step up that ladder.
So Tiffany, and we talked about it briefly just in the previous question, but what are resources available to innovators or creators? What resources are available through Athens Made and throughout the community?
So one of the great things about Athens is that we have a really strong entrepreneurship community and small business community, and that goes back since almost the founding of this town. Like, every small business owner here really tries to help one another. I know both Davis and Bo have mentioned people in the community that have been really helpful in getting them to the success that they're at now. One of the things, I guess we just merged Athens Made and for Athens, so this kind of was two separate programs we're putting into one. But the great thing that is happening with that is that we are able to extend kind of an ecosystem that we're growing and a pathway for small business owners or startups. So we start with an accelerator program, which we hold twice a year at the University of Georgia, and it's open to the public. And that is like customer discovery and testing your idea. So you go in an intensive 8-week program and find out, is the idea that you have actually viable, and is it something that'll sell? From there, we have an incubator space, so we can do kind of office space a little bit below market rent downtown to get you started when you grow your team. And then we have mentors and resources all the way up the ladder to the point where, if you're interested, you can sell your business. So that's kind of one of the things that we offer. And the ecosystem in general is just about connecting to what we have here. One of the great things about Athens too is that we're all very interconnected. At Athens Made and for Athens work closely with the Chamber, with the Northeast Georgia Business Association, with SBDC. All of us work together, so it's creating a clear path for those entrepreneurs. And again, just connecting them with one another so that they can have peer-to-peer mentoring at every growth stage and kind of, growth cycle. So wherever they are in their scaling or business.
And of course, I've only been here, I haven't been here just since August, but what I've appreciated about Davis, as well as our relationship, is that we don't operate in silos. We operate in an open field. We're just trying to create the best opportunity for Athens in general without, ownership. So, Bo, it's hard to look at you and say you've been in business for 6 years. What are some of the lessons that you've learned, and would you do anything differently?
So I've learned a lot of things. I've learned about business, finance, mentorship, investments, angel investors, things like that. I've also learned about crowdfunding campaigns and a lot more lessons that come with business and entrepreneurship. But for me, the thing that really hit home for me was learning about how to be respectful to the customer and being able to engage with everyone, being very appreciative when people support me, whether it's investors, supporters, and also just regular customers and patrons. And I feel like, for me, when you're able to communicate with the people who are trying to help you and you're trying to give to people and you're trying to really give your service to them, I feel like that's what makes a business goes long and far. Because no matter what, at the end of the day, a business has to make money somehow. They need a customer, they need a patron, they need a supporter, someone to help them. And I feel like being able to give your hand of service gratefully and give your hand of service to be working for others is something really important. And that also goes along just with being able to learn even more than you already know too, because I've learned a lot about the business and many different things, but I've not learned everything. And it's just me trying to be humble. Another thing, just trying to be humble and understand that I still have a long way to go even that I've started right now. And just making sure that I do my best for my community, because I'm really proud of Athens, and I really want to make sure that if not, I haven't done my best to put Athens on the spot, there will be something that makes Athens a greater place than Atlanta and Washington, D.C., just making sure that Athens is a great hometown, if anything else.
All right, I think we have a couple minutes for questions. If anybody has any questions of our panelists? Any questions? Let me ask each one of you guys then, what does Athens look like to you in 5 years? And I'll start with you, Davis.
Well, to me, a big part of this is partnering with educators. You know, obviously we have the wonderful University of Georgia campus and the resources here. Research spending at the University of Georgia is at an all-time high. I mean, University of Georgia is booming in a lot of ways, but what we're finding is that for the first time, the university is really committing themselves to commercialization, to partnering with industry. And this creates a wonderful opportunity for us as business people here in the local community and across the state, quite honestly. So that's what I'm very eager to see how that all comes to fruition, and also how we partner with K through 12, because I feel like the more that we can get entrepreneurs out in the classroom to inspire the next expo shell of the world, you know, that's only going to do us more good.
Tiffany?
I would say, as someone who grew up in this area, I've noticed that we've always had a very strong, small business community that catered to students. And in recent years, probably the last 5-10 years, we've had more and more that are catering to young adults and people that are moving here after graduation or staying here after graduation. And definitely, I think in the next 5 years, that's only going to continue to grow. And one of the things that makes that so important is that people now are choosing kind of their jobs based on where they want to live. And a lot of cities are getting really full and it's really hectic and stressful. So it's kind of nice to come to Athens and have this great community that has arts and food and all these cultures, that be able to get tech jobs or jobs that are very high paying that you would normally only have in New York or San Francisco or LA or something. We are attracting a lot of jobs like that already, so I see that growing, and especially tied very closely in with our small businesses and what we offer as culture for people who live here.
Last word, Bo.
So I'm going to somewhat piggyback on what both of them said, and I feel like between education and community, the way our community works and how it's always supporting small business, I feel like in the next 5 years we'll be getting pretty far, mostly because a lot of things and programs, at least for me, that I see in school, because I'm a student, I still go to school, surprisingly. But I really just see that a lot of our graduates, if they don't leave Athens, which I don't expect them to, most of them, they'll be able to really get off on their own foot, especially with helping the new businesses that are coming in. And I feel like the way the education system is now evolving, because there's a lot of involvement in Athens, and people still try to get involved. And I promise there's enough people that are emotional that want to help Athens. And I feel like that's what's going to keep us going and get us to a great level.
So, Bo, the last thing, did you happen to bring ice cream with you today?
Yes, sir.
Well, fancy that. So, y'all, this surprise twist, thanks to the generosity of the Georgia Chamber, ice cream is available for all of you. As soon as you walk out, you'll see Bo's little ice cream dude cart. We're just delighted that you're here. Make sure that you get some ice cream. Chris, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Before we wrap, we're going to walk around. If you got your business card, we have a drawing we're going to do. So